quick one for you today. This is a new skin I'm trying. It's a skin by a guy called Sebastian Starts TR. He's got a community post going on at sportsinteractivegames.com. I will link it below with the skin on and some of the screenshots. But what it is it's a star system rather than the traditional numbers. Now, when you go into, let's go to the numbers actually. If we go here, I'll just change my skin back to TCS, which I quite like. There's a lot of numbers in the game. There's obviously many, many different attributes through technical, mental, and physical. So you're full of numbers anyway. There's numbers everywhere in the game. And then you get to here. I'll go through how I change the colours and why I do it in a second. But there's a lot. There's a lot here. And essentially, we work off a star system here and then a number system here. So if I flick the skin back, it's called star attributes, and there's a dark skin and a light skin, and it's Mac friendly as well. I think I saw a Mac version on there as well. Okay, so it's replaced it with stars. We're just looking at the same player who's looking at there, who's my best player. So this guy here is a 4.5 star current. He's maxed out on potential, really. Monticello. What I've done is I've set these stars. So just so you can see, these are excellent attributes. The green ones, the orange ones I've got as good, and I'll explain how I do the rest in a second. But I think this is a lot better because you start staring and getting obsessed with numbers like between 14 and 16 and the difference between those. Between 14 and 16, really? Are you going to notice that in game? I don't personally think so. So this is why I think this star rating is good. And it does force you to look at other things. It does sort of force you to look at the statistics in game, and the number of passes that were complete. So if we go to the preferences, we go into here and we type colors. Let me just explain my colors. I've gone for green for excellent attribute, orange for good. And then I've got white for average there, but I've seen all different content creators doing different things with the colors, but I quite like green for a top one. It's nice and bright. This is where I set mine. I've played with this quite a lot. So I'm in the Serie B, Serie C in Italy. So I'm not in the top league. When I'm in the top league, I'll probably change the numbers up to 15 or 16, and then this up to 12 and 13. But essentially now I've come to the conclusion that anything around 10, which is basically anything 10 and below, is not worth shouting about, really. It's neither here nor there. And when we look for players, we don't sort of say, 10, that's a great thing to have. Everything that's 10 and below gets this grey colour here. And the reason I've got these two at 11s is it avoids the white one here. So I'm really only playing with these two attributes here as excellent and good, and then this low attribute here and average is grey. So the excellent is set at 14 for my league. Again, if I'm on like Vanarama North, I'll drop it down to sort of maybe 13 or 12 as an excellent, and I'll drop everything down accordingly. Because otherwise you're going to get lots and lots of low attribute colours, and it's not fair really from Vanarama North to the Premier League. It's very different. So this is why I go into here and change this. So just confirm or reload skim, and it will reload that. So this gives you an indication, a very good visual indication, I think, without getting too hyper obsessed with the numbers, of your player's ability in that area. So this is my best player. Let's go to one of my worst players, this guy here. Ironically, he's very, very bad physical because he's 32 now. He's obviously had a big hard paper round looking at him. I know that they're all under 10. Does it matter whether they're 6, 8, 10? Probably matters if they're 1, but essentially, you in real life, you don't look at players and say, he's got 17 passing or he's got 12 finishing. You either say he's excellent at it, he's good at it, or he's okay at it. And I think this represents the game very, very well. And it falls in line with these sort of star ratings here. So this guy is obviously still very, very good technically. Mentally, he's okay. Physically, he's dead. So he's a bit of an odd one. If we take this guy here, this is a player who's a 2-star currently. He's a fringe player. He's probably never going to make it, but you can see that he's from a view that where his strengths are. He's decent flair, good flair, good pace, no vision. no passing. His technicals are very, very bad, and probably need to move him on. He's going to become 3-star. He's going to improve. He's 22, although there is an argument to say he won't improve. So this also goes over into the staff. So if we go to one of our coaches, you can see here, and it's using the same attributes as before, with 14 being green and so on. But we can see how good our staff are. We'll go to one of my favourite roles, director of football. I like my director of football to have good negotiated. He's not good enough for me to do contracts, and he's certainly not good enough to recommend players. The only reason I'm keeping him is because the board said they wanted me to work with him, and I'm only 3 matches in on this save, so that's the only reason I'm working with him. But again, I need to move him on. If we look at my scouting centre and look at my scouts, you can see these guys are 10 or under in terms of judging player ability and judging player potential. He's better at judging player potential, but he's not 14 yet. He's somewhere between 10 and 14. Again, does it matter? And this guy, the chief scout, is judging player ability is okay. Judging player potential is poor. This guy, and these have got to go. So without looking at high process numbers, you can quickly get a gauge to how good these people are. Now, there is a bit of a workaround if you don't like it so much. If you like it for this, but you're worried about when you're searching for players. So if we go player search. Okay, so this is my fullbacks. Let's take, I like this, Playmakers. I look at Playmakers. So my Playmakers, first touch, passing, vision, technique, decisions, off the ball, teamwork, natural fitness. We can see this is a reasonable play. But now imagine looking at the screen with all these numbers on, massive numbers, but it's very good for a visual impact, this. So this guy's a winger. He's a good playmaker because I can see that he's at least 11 plus and 14 plus in this one, passing, for all his attribute strengths. Now there is a workaround here. You can go into your normal position. Let's say we are looking for a playmaker and we go centre midfield. We can pick, we can highlight attributes for the role, and we could go deep line playmaker on support. It's chosen the attributes for you, and it's still using the number. So let's take it down to 12. We have one player at 12. This guy, we know from those numbers, he's got those numbers. He has those numbers already, but I still prefer the visual representation. In here again, very easy to see fantastic mentals, again, without looking at the numbers. And having too many colours, I do think that it's good having 3 colours personally, the green, the orange, and then a nothing colour for the third. I do think having 4 is confusing, and I just think this is a good way to go. It's a good way to very quickly see where your players' strengths are. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm doing Journeyman Save at the minute, and I'll just drop off some tips and tricks videos. I am doing tips and tricks within the Journeyman. So please put a comment. If there's anything you want to know about scouting or anything else, please let me know. And I'll try and do a video representing that. Take care for now. Bye-bye.